Today we're at the capital complex in Chandigarh, North India, and we'll discover together one of the greatest architectural projects of the 20th century. 6 structures. Then we'll head towards the Corbusier Centre, which is where he worked and designed the city and the buildings, to discover one of the best designed cities in the world and how this vision came to life. The whole city was designed in here. So I've just been on a tour around the capital complex. I'll tell you about each structure now while showing you some naughty, sneaky footage, because filming access here is strictly forbidden. So Le Corbusier was Swiss, one of the fathers of the modern movement, and they commissioned him to design Chandigarh, this grid city. I did a video about that, but this one's about the capital complex. So this place tells a powerful story of India's vision for the future, and there's 6 iconic structures there. So the first building is the High Court. So he wanted to make it feel bold, authoritative and open as well. So one thing I noticed was there's a big open space in front of it. Apparently he wanted the public to experience that open space and look at the building, but they had a terrorist attack years ago and they stopped people coming in now, and that's probably why I can't even film in there. I tried to go in there on my own without the guided tour and they're all, oh no, you must have a guard with you. So that's why it's like a big open space. There's nothing, no cars there or anything. The actual building has a big overhang and it has all different sunshades. There's something like 7 or 8 courtrooms. So the courtrooms are here and here. The ones with the colour on them. But they couldn't go inside really, which was a pain. It was like the tour guide wasn't that great. It was just quite quick, and not everyone's a geek like me, but. So the High Court has these bold colours on it. Le Corbusier wanted to create emotion from the raw concrete that he uses everywhere. Now I understand why my boss always wants concrete painted, because after you've seen enough of it, it doesn't look that great. After a while, it looks a bit dated now. So the overhang, which not only acts as a shading device, but they're supposed to symbolise the power of justice as well. That's the heavy roof, heavy concrete roof. So the different colours on the building actually have a lot of symbolism. So the red is for power, yellow is for light, and green is for hope. So it's not just a building that whispers justice, it kind of declares it. It's quite obvious when you look at it. I think this Le Corbusier Museum is quite far away. I might have to get an Uber or something. It's like a 1-hour walk. So the next structure is the Open Hand Monument, which is very iconic, not only for Chandigarh, but also for Le Corbusier. Come on, let me pass. Okay, it's 45 minutes to the Le Corbusier Centre. I think I'll try and walk it straight. So you see, he's even designed footpaths, which is pretty good. But there's never any congestion of the traffic here, so it's designed pretty well. Anyway, the Open Hand Monument, his hand is open to symbolise to give and to receive. So it's kind of a symbol of peace. So what was interesting, they had it weighs quite a lot, like 5 tons or something, but it's hollow and has ball bearings in it. So, and then it's put on a pole and it rotates in the wind, which is cool. The thumb catches the wind and it rotates. So it's a very symbolic symbol. Even in my hotel, the table numbers have that hand on it, which was cool. Nice symbolic gesture and all that stuff. So yeah, and I remember seeing it as well in our library at university. That's why I came here. I remember seeing Chandigarh books in our library at university. So it's quite a big thing. So the hand was in an open amphitheatre. I'm sure these things never get used, mostly just for show now. So that hand is the soul of the whole capital complex area, and it's where architecture meets philosophy in Chandigarh. So the thing with these grid cities, you can't take much shortcuts. You have to literally go all the time. You can't diagonally, so there are things over there, but I have to go that way, then that way. So the next structure is Tower of Shadows, which was quite nice, I thought. It's a little structure, I don't know, nothing you can do with it, but it's like an experimental little building it was. Completely blocks the sunlight during the hottest times of the year. And then in the winter, the coldest time of the year, it lets the sun in. So in the hottest time of the year, it's probably the coolest place in Chandigarh.
to be. So it's like angled on all these ways. Maybe he built it at the start for experimenting with the sun, what it would be like. Quite clever I was. It reminds me of some of the projects you do in the early architecture school when you have to put bits together and create a box, different planes, and let the light come in and out. So that's quite nice, and that's the kind of thing he did on all the other buildings as well. Block the sun in during the hot summer and then let the sun in during the winter. So he played with all these forms, and that's a prime example of that. I'm sure it has some kind of other symbolic meaning, like good and bad, dark and light, justice, shadows, you know, that kind of stuff. I bet that's kind of symbolic as well. So next to the Tower of Shadows was this hill. They used the cut from all the other buildings they used when they during construction. They put all the earth there, created this hill, and then that creates a privacy, blocks the views to the buildings, government buildings, so no one can see it from the outside. So the Capitol complex is hidden from the outside. That hill helps hide it. So that's pretty handy, what you can do with the cut from buildings when you're constructing the building. So that was called Geometric Hill, I think that was called. Fifth building was the Secretariat Building, which is an office building where all the bureaucrats work. And this is one of the largest buildings in Chandigarh, I think, if not the largest. Loads of shading on the front, which is purely functional, not aesthetic. I didn't really get to see that much. They didn't really show us it very much. They just pointed it out, which is a shame. I didn't think the tour guide was that great. It wasn't very thorough. So the next building is the Legislative Assembly, which is the one I was most excited about, because that's the one that I've seen in all the books and journals and everything, because it's got the water and some of it reflects off the water. I didn't realise just a bit of water on the left, a bit of water on the right. So Legislative Assembly is where all the, I think, politicians or government officials just assembly and talk about bullshit all day. So that's what it's for, basically. And then the roof, the heavy sweeping roof, is supposed to symbolise the power of authority, the power of the voice, I think. So that roof is called a hyperbolic paraboloid, or some shit like that. Hyperbolic paraboloid. And the water is supposed to represent calmness. So it's raw, heavy, unapologetically modern. More roundabouts. So the Legislative Assembly, we managed to go in, they took us in, God, and security was intense. They took everything off me, even my watch, phone, everything, like, so I couldn't take anything there. It was very strict. But they had, like, you go in and this is where all the politicians do the debates, and it was a circular room. It's all, you walk around, it's a massive building, all concrete inside, had these columns that kind of spread up at the top. The ceiling was painted black, it's kind of weird. The rest of it's just all fair finished concrete. And you go into the actual assembly hall and it's circular and it has a domed roof, no columns at all. It's really beautiful. Had acoustic panels on the outside, timber desks and stuff, like the rulers and the opposition facing each other. Yeah, it's really nice. And they had like different patterns, like a Le Corbusier style patterns on the dome, different colours and bold colours. It was pretty cool, I must admit. But after I've been to Brasilia, I've seen the Oscar Niemeyer stuff, which is concrete. But I don't know, this raw concrete was a bit more, I don't know, it didn't look as nice as the Oscar Niemeyer stuff. This concrete just looked a bit depressing. There's nothing to give it. I suppose that's the reason why he puts the bold colours on there, to give the concrete life. But like inside the assembly building, not the actual hall, but walking around, it's all pretty grim, concrete everywhere. I know like architects do this with the pure concrete because they want to see the material at its purest form, but come on, paint some of it, for God's sake. But then again, if you paint it, you'd have to maintain that for years. So, yeah, minimal maintenance on that. And there's a lot of rainwater harvesting as well. But he didn't show us where it was exactly, which was a shame. But he said like it's only in the wet seasons anyway. So all this rainwater harvesting I do, especially with the projects I do, the LEED rated buildings. The amount of rainwater you get is very minimal. It's like only in the big rainy season. The rest of the year you'll get nothing anyway. So it's a bit overrated, to be honest. I feel like Donald Trump, a lot of the stuff is bullshit really. The LEED green building stuff. So here's a map. So here you see, it's all grid city, like this. He designed it all grids. That's where we were, capital complex was here. So after walking this way. So there's like the government zone where the capital complex is, and all the zones, they're just numbered. The zones are just numbered. There's no like name to them really. I saw something in America and stuff, they're always like 6th and 5th Avenue and all that shit. Like that's the thing, one thing in the UK and stuff, is they never numbered the streets, always a name. I found it easier than numbers, yeah, but it gets a bit soulless with just numbers. It's quite pedestrianised actually, quite well. I thought it wasn't, but it is. But there's not many people walking around though. And bicycle lanes. I don't know if this is a bicycle lane or... So this says Sector 7 there. It must be the social sector or something. It's pedestrian friendly, almost. It's kind of weird. Stopping bicycles go through. I guess that's the way for the bicycles. But yeah, walking around, it just doesn't feel like India at all, really. Apart from it's so hot. This is where Le Corbusier designed the city and the government buildings. But he didn't design the office. This is where they debated and he drew. It's not here, is it? It's never obvious like where the entrance is for all these buildings. It's just weird. Like, where's the fucking sign telling me? I'm standing outside it. I don't know where the fucking hell it is. It's not in there. To go all the way around the outside, I'm fucking mental if I have to do that. Fucking stupid. It's weird because you get the main road, then you get another road to get to the building. It's really weird actually. There's a lot of roads. Do you know where Le Corbusier Centre? Le Corbusier Centre.
Which center?
Le Corbusier. You don't know? It's the most famous thing here. Yeah.
This one.
In through here?
Ah.
Thank you. Yeah, my accent. There's no sign here. It does say that. Yeah. So this is where he worked, designed and drew everything for the buildings and the city. And they had the debates as well. But he didn't design this place, he just worked here. And so this is it. So his whole team worked in here. And the whole city was designed in here. That's construction photographs. These are the colours he uses, the bold different colours he uses. Must be a sketch of the hand there. That's a proper sketch there. There is the man himself. So this guy, Pierre Jeanneret, he stayed here for 17 years in Chandigarh, working here under Le Corbusier. That's a long time. It's longer than I've been in Dar es Salaam.
Pierre Jeanneret and was the most important person in turning Chandigarh from the master plan into the real city. While Le Corbusier made periodic visits from Europe, He supervised construction, managed local architects and designed many of the buildings much of the city's famous for. When he died in 1976, his ashes were scattered in Chandigarh's Sakna Lake, according to his wishes.
So that was inside it. The assembly hall, that's the domed roof. And there were the acoustic panels. So it looks like he didn't just do buildings, he did artwork as well. Yeah, even my hotel, they have a lot of art that he did. Even back in the day, I mean, it doesn't look that amazing, does it really? Honestly speaking. It's not that nice. I don't want to be a bit mean or anything, but his buildings are pretty ugly actually. Oh, there's a little sketch of the thing. There's the amphitheatre, and the thing is on stilts there. That's his hand. This was in one of the courtrooms they had. The ramp inside, and they had these holes on the walls. I couldn't film it, but yeah, it was just holes knocked out of the wall. Kind of organic shapes. Now there's inside there. So it's all concrete inside. They had, and you walk through all this, and then you go into the main debate area, assembly hall. Just walking around. This must be one of his real pictures here, drawings of the city. This is that office building with the bureaucrats. We didn't really go close to it, but it's a massive building. They didn't really let me to walk around. That's the dome above. I was inside. So I hope you learned something about Le Corbusier and Chandigarh, and if you like this video, subscribe over here, or if you want to watch another video on India, click here and I'll see you over there.